All right, guys. Happy Sunday, guys. It is
Happy
literally a
Sunday.
Sunday and we are live, okay? This is how important this topic is to these ladies, okay? They wanted us on a Sunday to come live to talk to y'all about Project 25, okay? And so we have the amazing Heidi, we have the amazing Tracie, we have the Pastor Angela. Thank you, ladies, for coming in and spending this Tuesday with us. This Tuesday, y'all know I'm so used to being on here on Tuesdays. This amazing Sunday. I'm trying to make sure that we are um live on the platforms. Now, was everybody able to
I'm
share?
not sure. Tracie, did you
I shared.
tag me or you shared it to my page? Okay.
I'm still going.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. We're trying to
Let
get
me
it
let
shared
me
out
go
to
out
our
and
platforms so that way we're gonna answer y'all questions live, guys. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, we're gonna actually answer your questions live as we go. Um, and so we're gonna get started in just a second. I just want to give everybody time to jump on, and I want to give everybody
okay.
time to share. And I'm not
Okay.
seeing it live yet, so I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my phone. I went to my phone to see if see us live and I don't.
So I am looking, which is weird because it's usually pop up by now.
Okay.
Y'all
Wait a
see it?
minute. It says Tracie Steams, help me Jesus. Hold
All right,
on. I
guys.
think I think it will be.
Usually I would just start going, but I really want to get on other platforms because we have people that's waiting in another group to be able to speak with us and ask questions. So I want to make sure that we are live. Let me go check my personal page and make sure that I didn't make a mistake.
I see the link that Tracie excuse me that Tracie sent, but I'm not seeing us actually live.
If push come to shove, I'm gonna send y'all YouTube. So let me go to YouTube.
Yep. YouTube is fine. And then
The
we
you
can talk. If we got something to say, we can talk in our group text and look at it real quick so they won't hear us live.
so no, I'm gonna send you. We finna send the YouTube in there live.
Okay. Set.
So I'm about to go to YouTube because we should be in YouTube live as well. Okay, we've been live 3 minutes. Yep, it says we are live, so I'm not really
Right,
sure
because
what.
this is all I'm seeing right here. So they're not going. So do I share this to them, Tracie? That you sent me that link?
Wait a second. We're gonna do YouTube. Give
Because
us
I
just a
was.
second. We're just gonna hold. Let her do the YouTube. We're just gonna
Okay.
hold for a second.
Okay.
I'm not even seeing us on YouTube. This is so weird. Where are we live at? We actually have no viewers, so that's weird too. Somebody usually pop on. So hold on. So I'm on my channel. I'm looking. Does it usually tell you that I'm live? See, this is not what I usually do. This look, my husband used to do this part. Oh, there we go. I found us. We're live. All right, guys. I'm going to share YouTube because I don't know why I don't see it on another. Y'all hear me talking? So I am about to send it to the text message. That's the best way I know how to do it. So I just sent it. And then oh, you know what? Maybe I could have sent that in TDW. Um,
Yep. And text it to. Okay.
you got it?
You sent it in text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me see. Can they? Are we gonna be live in that group? We finna find out. All right. So they should be able to watch us live now.
It says live chat.
You can
All right, I just put in the group for them to watch it live. Make sure to watch it live. Make sure y'all put y'all stuff on mute so it won't be going off, okay?
All right, I just put in the group for them to watch it live. Make sure to watch it live. Make sure y'all put y'all stuff on mute so it won't be going
Hit
off,
me,
okay?
everybody.
Click on this create a channel to join, or just leave it like it is, because I can see all of us.
Say it again.
I can see all of us, but down here it says create a channel. Do I need to do anything else
No,
for
nothing
the
else. Nope.
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 Just hold for a second and use our text message.
All right. All right, guys. I am so excited that y'all decide to join us live. We definitely appreciate you. We had a few kinks because we're trying to make sure that y'all can see it live so that we can answer questions. Okay. There's no need to have a debate if y'all not able to debate, right? There's no need to have a discussion if you can't discuss with us. So we're just making sure that everybody was able to participate. So all I did was go inside the group and I pushed watch live, guys. So whatever the link I sent you, just tell them to watch that link live. And we'll be able to see their comments. So guys, the first question I'm going to ask is, and we can start with Heidi at the top, since she's at the top of the screen. How do you feel about what's going on in America right now, Miss Heidi?
I feel exhausted.
Oh,
I feel afraid for our democracy. I think with habeas corpus being withdrawn from certain Americans, that means they could arrest any one of us. They could deport any one of us. They deported American citizens. The administration has been floating trial balloons for a long time about being able to deport en masse, and they've tried different ways. And I think they're just going to continue to believe that might makes right and not care about our constitutional rights and liberties.
wow.
I think it's fascism. So
I think so many Americans feel how you feel. Did anybody else wanna comment on that?
Yeah, it's a tough time for all. You know, it's we're seeing a lot of wins right now that we haven't seen in a long time, which is a good thing. But in the big picture wise, that we know that we have a election that's coming up next year that's so important to us, and the fear in us of waiting too late to react and be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
That election could change things for our democracy on all levels. And I feel that a little defeated at times when people seem not to take it seriously. They laugh at some of the stuff. Oh, yeah, they're doing this and doing that. But they don't realize that at 12, 11, 12 o'clock at night, they are making decisions on our lives and
Right.
we're asleep. And so, with that, especially our team working so close to everything that's going on, and we see things happening by the second, and everybody's just going on like life is good, and we're in a tough time right now, and it could be tough for all of us. But you know, the fight is there. We're fighting, and if we can just get everybody on board on all parties, it would be a great thing and be beneficial for us and our legacy.
That's good. That's good. I feel like a lot of people feel that same way as well. Pastor Angela, would you like to add to that?
I just think that with the current situations, I think that it's on the spiritual side. I think there's a lot of hopelessness because people
Oh,
have gotten to the point where they have given up, because they're thinking that because nothing is happening, that God is not hearing them, and not understanding that everything happens in God's timing, not our timing. But we have to continue to stay in the fight. So whatever it is that he is telling you to do, you be busy doing that thing that he's telling you to do, and all the other stuff will work out. But I think what we're doing is everybody's trying to go in there and do the same thing, and everybody's trying to do what everybody else is doing, and not realizing it takes all of us in different capacities doing something different, working towards the same common goal. And if we would get that in mind and realize, no, it's not hopelessness. And that's why people stop doing stuff. They complain about it, the problem, but they don't want to be a part of the solution.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Thank you for joining us, Gail. We definitely appreciate it.
Hey, Gail, I feel better now because I was really wondering where my people being able to see me. So, Sister Gail, tag the group in or tag different ones of us in so that they can come on and see. I can't see you, but I thank God that you're here. Thank you. That's one of my faithful members, y'all. That's Sister Gail. So she's accepting God's favor, faithful member.
We appreciate that. What could have changed things? Like, I know we said we felt hopeful. We have all three are actually had different ways how you felt, but literally, if I divided that up, there's a big portion of America that actually feel the way each of y'all feel, literally. And so my question is, how do you think we could have changed before we got here? What could we have done different?
Voting. Everybody take this election so serious. I mean, it's looking at the aftermath, like when she said, I told you, he's doing everything he said he was going to do. It's no secret. We see it. We seen it before then. We knew it. But did people take it serious? And then now these things are happening. And then the people that voted for him, that part right now is now, and it's late, but it's, but we still have a chance next year. And what we've done differently was if people would have voted for the right candidate.
I'm going to say something, guys. So for those who don't know, y'all know I am the host of I'm Asking a Blueprint. I'm usually on Tuesdays. But I actually joined Texas.
I think we're all buffering on. Okay. So.
Huh? And so I joined because
we're back. We keep buffering in and out.
What we could have done different. And so I feel like the question is, what could have changed things? And I think we all could do something little. It's the little. It's the person who feel hopeless. You could do something little. It's the purpose who just feel down about it. I'm just going to use me for an example. When I tell you I went through all the emotions because this election literally affected my child getting a bone marrow. So as a mother, I went through the crying of why would you stop this from happening? Why would anybody not want my son to get a bone marrow? Why would we snatch that away? Right? And so I went through the crying, the anger, but then I had to get to a point, and like the question said, what are we going to do about it? I had to join. I had to join Texas Democrat Women so I can be a part of the change, so I can make a difference. Believe it or not, if you feel hopeless, if you frustrated, however you feeling, if you get with Heidi, if you get with Tracie, if you get with Pastor Angela, we can show you how you could actually do something, be a part of something to make a difference. Did anybody else want to answer that question
about what we could have done? What could we have done before getting to this point? Yeah. What we could have done is we could have taken it seriously. That's what we could have done, because what happened is, and I tell y'all don't get tired of me speaking spiritual, but that's who I am. We sat back and we allowed, as a whole, not us four, but as a whole, the nation as a whole, allowed Satan to lull us into a false sense of security that we're good. And so he just babbling. He's just talking. He can't do nothing. But we forget that he only has the power. Satan only has the power that we give him. And all of those people, I don't care how much they talk about God. I don't care who their televangelist is. They're operating under the guise of the devil. And they're his minions. And they're carrying out his plans. And we sat back. And if we had done what us Christians, who we say we are, in 2 Chronicles 7:14 was telling us to do, is to check you and get you straight and realize that you're part of the problem. And when you humble yourself, I'll step in and heal it. But what we did is we just feel like, one, nobody really thought that anybody was going to be dumb enough to vote him back in there after the mess that he made the last time. So we just thought, well, they saw what he did last time, so ain't nobody going to be dumb enough to vote him back in. But you forget, Satan has disciples just like God has disciples. And so the things that they knew that he was against are all the things that is going to help people. And so the very people, what happened is the very people who helped him get in, they were the first ones to be affected. Now they're sitting back, oh, woe is me. Mm-hmm. But you should have remembered what he did the last time. Well, so now what we could have done, what the main thing we could have done, remember.
Mm-hmm.
Remember.
And you know what? When COVID was going on last time, when he was in office, so people thought that those checks that came in, that he did that.
Right.
And he didn't. And so he gave us a play. He put Project 2025 on there. We already knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is people get caught up. You see voting is going on, voting is going on, voting is going on. And then people, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it. And then all of a sudden that day, I got this to do. I really, really, really. And when that time comes, and then when it happened, and then now when you start seeing Social Security and Medicaid, and then deporting people and all of this stuff that's going on, and people are like, wait a minute, what's going on? And it's stepping on everybody's foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden now, I didn't think he was gonna do it. I didn't think that applied to me. And it is. And it's happening, and it's real.
It's happening.
And so when people don't take something serious and understand how important it is, or feel like nobody see you, I didn't, and then all of a sudden this is happening, they just get comfortable until it really, really, really affects them. And it's really, really, really happening right now.
Mm-hmm. And notice now, nobody voted for him. Well, how did he get in there if nobody voted for him? Now you're ashamed to admit that what you did was you did just like those people in the Bible. You kept saying, send us a king, send us a king, send us a king. And God got tired of hearing, I'm the king. Trust me. Send us a king. We want to be like the other people. Well, how you like him now? You got just what you asked for.
Exactly. All right, Heidi, would you like to chime in on that?
Yeah, I think there's something we could have done differently all across the country. What we could have done differently is vote, like our life depended on it. Not everybody did. And we needed to organize. And when people say organize, there's all sorts of ways to organize. But one thing we really need in Texas is precinct chairs, because the precinct is the lowest level of district that we can have. It's our precinct. It's our voting precinct. A chair can go ahead and contact their precinct when it's time to vote, remind them, give them voting information, hold meet and greets with them, make sure they stay active. We have a distinct lack of precinct chairs on the Democrat side in Texas, but I will tell you, the Republicans, they're fighting for these precinct chair positions. They go on the ballot. We're disappointed because we raise our hand and there's nobody in that seat. So we don't go on the ballot, but the Republican precinct chairs do. Their precincts are full of precinct chairs. They're organizing, and the Democrats in Texas need to do the same thing. We're also outnumbered with voter registration. And I must say, Powered by People is a really good organization. Beto runs it. But there's also voter registrations we can do locally. We have League of Women Voters here. Texas Democratic Women can do it. And I also believe there's new developments in League City, so we could always go door to door. So things like that. Organize. I didn't know my precinct as well as I do now, because in the past I didn't organize it. So this year I got more people out, and I met my precinct and got to know them a little better. And I think when Trump was elected, actually the first thing that came to my mind, I believe it was God that told me this, there's safety in numbers, Heidi. Don't worry, there's safety in numbers. So we have to get together, and we have to organize. We have to fight together. And that's all I have for that.
The key word is unity.
Yeah.
Unity. That's what our ministry is about unity and bridging the gap. And until we stand together, we're going to always be divided. And it's like bridging the gap. Bridging the gap with those ones of us who know what's going on, to get out there and talk to those people who don't know what's going on, so that we can come together and stand as a united front. Because as long as they got us all scattered like roaches, they're going to do whatever it is they want to do, because they figure, well, they don't care about what happens to them. So why should we?
Right. Are local elections important? Who would like to take that one?
I just knew
Tracie,
Tracie was
did
going
you
to
want
get
to take
that
it?
one.
Yes, I'm navigating and answering questions as we talk. Yes, local elections are very important. It's what's going on in your city government. Some people don't show up for them, and then you end up getting the wrong person in the wrong seat. And to know that people that's on those seats can make decisions for your community without you even being there. And you need diverse group of people who has the best interest in the heart for the community to be in those seats. And as things are controlled in local level. But if you don't have those people, if you don't go and vote for them, then you get people that's going to come up here and destroy our communities that we've worked hard for all our lives, the things we cared about, and then all of a sudden you're like, "What's going on over here?" You was asleep. You didn't go
That's
to the
exactly
polls.
what. That's
You did
exactly what.
not vote for the right candidate. It is important. Elections are won by 2, 3, 4 votes. Some of them was a tie election that happened up there in Dickinson. It is important for you to have the right person in the right seat for your community. Local elections are so important because those ordinances for your community, it changes lives for you. And when you think that things are unfair, did you show up? Did you know what's going on? It's important. And they can hear you and they're closer to you where you'll be able to get in contact with those people and hold those people accountable. So local elections are everything.
Can I just add something to
Yeah.
that about local elections?
Yes.
Right now, and this happened after Barack Obama was elected. I remember the Tea Party came out, and I had been on the Obama campaign, and I thought, not a pit, I volunteer, and I thought that everything was fine. We got our first Black president. Our nation had moved on. Our nation had graduated another level. We've transcended on a national level, transcended racism was what my naive mind was thinking. Okay. And so after the Obama election, I just, sat back and rested and thought we were good. We got this. And then the Tea Party cropped up and they looked crazy and they looked nutty and they had hats with tea bags all around. And I just laughed at them. I didn't take them seriously. But then they started with taking local offices. They got local, they got organized, they got residents behind them, making up all these rumors about Barack Obama. They got their neighbors and they organized. And they took these local seats. And right now they're trying to get Democrats out of local seats. And they're also trying to make these local elections partisan so Democrats in certain red areas can't get these seats. So it's really important. What is it? Those what was mothers, not Mothers Against Greg Abbott, the other one, Moms for Liberty. Moms for
Hmm.
Liberty is this far right, mostly white women group that is taking over city council seats and school board seats so they could teach what they want, they can ban what they want, and we need to start really putting people into these local seats. If you see a slot, try to fill it. We can't let these people get in. We had a we had a close call in Friendswood recently
Hmm.
against incumbents, and thankfully they organized and they beat them. So that's really important too, is to keep these local seats and get more.
How long does it take to vote?
Voting, it takes a second. You can get in there, especially my favorite is early voting. You can show up, you can be in and out. I had a song playing in the car and I went in to vote and I came back outside and the song was still playing. And so it's just that quick. That's why early voting is so important, to get in and get out to vote. And there's so many different ways to vote, and so there's no excuse not to be able to vote.
I'm not saying y'all can't answer this, but I'm going to ask Pastor Angela this question first. Pastor Angela, how do you think that pastors can make a difference in getting people out to vote?
They need to come out from those four walls that they hide behind on Sundays to worship. We depart to serve. The work is out here. And yeah, and I'm talking to all the pastors who are watching, because I ain't scared, never been scared, and I ain't finna start being scared now. If we did as much out here as we do in there, a lot of the stuff that's going on out here wouldn't be done, because everybody wants to hide in the pulpit and hide behind the offering and hide behind what God is going to take care of. But God left us here to occupy. He told us to occupy until he comes. He's not going to come down and knock Trump off. But if we all band together, if we will humble ourselves and turn from our wicked ways, pastors, and seek God's face, then he will hear from heaven and he will heal our land. But as long as we sit back with our heads buried in the sand, like, well, whatever is going on in the world don't control me, that's why they're going to start putting these padlocks on these doors while you walk around with your 501c3 and you think you're okay, that the government is controlling. So then when you get to where you don't want to do what the government tells you to do, you ain't gonna have no church to hide behind. So what you need to do is come out, go in there and preach what the words say, then come out here and live what you just got through preaching. That means that you need to be concerned about what goes on in the community. And we got to get out here and band together and do things, because everybody wants to say it don't matter. If it don't matter, quit preaching about it. If it don't matter, quit talking about it. If it don't matter, stop having your little sidebar conversations about it. It does matter, because I'm not only at the age, I have been totally disabled since I was 37. So yeah, everything that they're trying to stop affects me. Yeah, it affects my sister. So if it affects anybody, it affects you. If you're a child of God, if you're a man of God, if you're a woman of God, if you're not on Social Security, but you have family members and church members that are, it concerns you. If you're not on Section 8, but you have family members and church members that are, it concerns you. It should concern you. So if you're not going to stand up and fight, because maybe it's not affecting you directly, but as men and women of God, everything that goes on should affect us, and we should get together, just like we're telling everybody else to get together. I challenge all the leaders in Galveston County, get together and let's do something about what we're talking about.
That's good. You're right, Gail. Unity. You know, Heidi said it, Pastor Angela said it. We all have to get on the same page. We have to all vote for the same person. We all have to start gearing the same way. Yeah. What are we standing for? If we stand for nothing, we file for anything. And I think that's kind of what we've been doing.
And that's what's happening.
We're just calling, everybody's believing this and going for this. And literally we're just everywhere. Oh, I'm doing this because this is of God. Oh, I voted for him because he's pro-life. He doesn't believe in abortion, but you're snatching food from the children that's birthed. You're snatching cancer care from even children. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta make it make sense.
It's the thing about, it's the lesser of two evils is what it is. Because let me tell you something, what has happened in a biblical sense, Satan, Trump, has presented himself as an angel of light, and all the stuff that he knows that people are going to go for, you put that up front because you're covering up the stuff that you're really wanting to do, because you're telling them, oh yeah, I'm against this, and oh yeah, I'm against that, when you don't even know how to hold your Bible right. When you holding your Bible with the cross upside down, you letting us know that's a symbol of Satanism. See, if people really studied the word like they said it do, you would see the demons all around what's going on. You can't quote a scripture, you can't read nothing if it ain't on that keyboard. When you're reading, you're just like this. When the keyboard ain't there, you're just like somebody with autism or cerebral palsy, because your head caught, because you're trying to listen to Satan telling him what to say next, what to do next. You just like a 6-year-old or somebody snatched your little toy away from you. And to him, this is just a big game. It's just like children playing a video game that they're killing these people, but they ain't really dead. He up here doing this stuff like this is a game to him. I have control. But like Gail said, we got to come in unity. One, get your head out the sand. If you got your head buried in the sand, what's sticking up? And he kicking it with pointed toe shoes. And we walking around like we don't see what's going on. You don't see what's going on because you don't want to see what's going on. Satan is always going to make something appear to be on your side until he gets you in there and then show you this is the real me. If he presented himself as who he really was, no one would have voted for him. But you should have known because he's already been here. That's what Satan does. You know who Satan is. You know his tricks. You know his tactics. So why you keep falling for it? He'd already shown us the first time who he was. What made you think he changed? You think all of a sudden he got saved? He didn't get saved. He came in this campaign doing the same stuff he did in the last one, letting you know I'm the same demon that I was the last time. I don't care nothing about you. This is all about me. And they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
It's almost like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I want you to go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like people have collective amnesia from the first Trump administration. They forget that we lost over 800,000 people to COVID because Trump mismanaged the COVID crisis. And now he's put a Robert F. Kennedy in front of Health and Human Services, who says, don't take my medical advice. So this is just a replay of the last administration. What happens when bird flu comes? We don't got a CDC right now. We don't really have an NIH right now. We do, but we don't know what they're going to be doing and what they will be allowed to do. So it's really like people just didn't learn.
And that's why we're repeating this lesson, because we didn't learn the first time. Until you learn, you're going to keep repeating the lesson.
You have people that trying to be loyal to the Republican Party instead of doing what's right. When you look at it, I call it smart voting. When you look at the person and the candidate of your choice, not because you're going red or blue, for what's right. Anybody that's blind can see what's going on right now, and people thinking, "Oh, shoot, I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican." Is this what you stand for? Is this okay with you? Because right now, for the first time I've ever seen, and starting to see certain parties are starting to join together right now to fight, because that's what it's going to take right now. It's going to take all of us, all the parties.
Ladies,
everybody.
We have a problem, though. Can I just tell you the problem we have? The problem we have now is young men. Young men, especially young white men, are looking for something that the Democratic Party has not offered them. They're looking for somebody like a Trump. I don't see what they see they think he's a strong man. They think he's macho. I don't know what they see in it, but I really think these young men, a lot of them are gamers, so they're meeting each other online, and they seem to be more right-leaning. And I think it's because the Democratic Party, I think they feel, has shut them out. We used to get the young voters. We could count on the young voters. When they voted, they usually voted for us. We can't do that anymore. So where do we go from there as women to alleviate that problem? I mean, or the party, maybe. Where would the party go to reach out to young men?
Social media is everything. During the campaign, and one of the unique things that we have going on now is we have all different platforms where we're able to communicate with people. And social media is everything. Just like we're jumping on right now to reach the world with social media. TikTok is everything. Getting on just the different ones to get on there. During the campaign, the whole time you look on there. And we have so many different people that's YouTubers that jump on there, and podcasters that get on there telling their story. And that's what we have to do. When I went to Beto's event, he talked about how important social media is. And it's everything. And we have to get outside the box. We can't be comfortable anymore. We have to have
That's
conversations
right.
with people that don't look like us. We have to have conversations with people that
Right.
don't think like us. We have to be in the room. We have to talk to young people. We have to recruit young people. And it's okay to have a healthy conversation, even if you don't agree, because that
Mm-hmm.
conversation when you have with them, and then when they leave out, it can change something. I've talked to a guy
Yes.
when I was on vacation, and he was for Trump the whole time. And I was ready to I was trying to shop and go, and I had people with me, but I realized that one conversation, and I was in New York at Blue State, and he was talking Trump, and we had a conversation of his world and things that in his mind that he thought was okay. Well, I had to sit there and show him the data of what's real. And so we just have to be transparent with
Right.
everybody. We got to be flexible. We can't do what we've been doing. We got to do something different now. And we're doing that right now. There's so many new things that we're doing and
That's
moving forward with. And I know we can save that a little later on in our conversation that's happening now to be able to reach out on all levels and accept people and information from somebody that's younger than us and that advice too, folks, and be able to change in both ways, young and old.
We kind of hit it already. How could our youth make a difference?
They are brilliant. I mean, this generation here, I mean, they're bold, they take risks, and being able to reach them, our youth is it. We already have our young them, and being able to build that. And it's one of those things. It's kind of like when I was young, when you used to go to school with your parents, that type of thing. Well, we'll be able to still adapt those programs right now and what we're doing in our organizations and grabbing our kids. We got kids and cousins and all them at home, and we're going to meetings. Bring them with. I brought my son with me to the meeting. He's sitting there and he can talk fluent about what's going on right now. But putting those kids in the room and making sure that they have roles and then they'll be able to lead too because they were brought up that way.
Anybody want to add to that? Okay, so will social media make a difference? Do you feel like social media will make a difference in the next voting?
Definitely.
Of course, yes.
All the way
And
around.
what do you think we could do different this time? Individually, what could we do different?
We have so many different resources now that people need to be aware of and just talking to people and putting it out there. You have some people that will reach out, but you got other people that's on social media all day long and they may not say nothing, but they'll
Mm-hmm.
react and they'll see it. And if we're all
They're
doing the
lurking.
same thing, right now,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have time to wait. Everything is happening right now, and raising awareness is really important right now. And talking to people, and people sometimes feel uncomfortable telling you, like, hey, I don't understand it, or I don't know what that means, or what can I do? We have so many resources, we have so many apps that's going on where people can really just be at home on their couch. And the time that they spend scrolling is the time they can be sharing links and educating themselves. So we have tons
Mm-hmm.
of resources. It's just us as we organize. And I will say this that this year I love our platforms that we have out here and all our different groups because we're headed in the right direction and I'm really excited about that. I think we got to get outside the walls of our organizations and share it out there with the public and be very inviting with people so they can understand
Mm-hmm.
and be part of it and show them to take the time. Because if you change one person, that person changes somebody else,
That's
another one
right.
changes someone else. And it's
Mhm.
just that important. And reaching out. I mean, look at our board. We have so many different people from different backgrounds that's been part of it. And then that is bringing in a bigger group and a bigger group. And if we keep that energy that's going
Mhm.
and that consistency that's going, I'm excited with what can happen next year. And so it's just going to take all of us and being flexible and getting the information out there and learning. Just said, reach one, teach one. We're going to have to do that with everything that we comes across us.
With the reach one, teach one, if you're watching this later down the
Yeah. I
line,
was, I was
or if
just
you
about
know
to say that.
somebody and
Each one, reach one.
if you're a
Each
child,
one, reach one, teach one.
so if you are a youth and you have experienced anything and you would like to come on the podcast, because you can reach a youth better than we can.
Mhm.
Your facts and what
That's
you're
right.
going through
Yeah.
is going to reach another youth so that they can
Mhm.
understand better than we can. Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
my story, for those who
Mm-hmm.
know me, know if you hear my story, to me, it's heartfelt. It's traumatizing to me. My son was waiting to get a bone marrow implant, and one flick of the wrist, he signed an order that canceled, I think it was like 35% of cancer treatments. Well, inside those cancer treatments was, guess what? Was bone marrow treatments. So if you're listening and you have anybody in your family who has cancer, a lot of their research has already been canceled since January.
Mm-hmm.
All of the help and the funding has already has stopped. If you have children, I know a lady right now who usually have an organization who she feeds children with an S, who's fighting for money right now to feed children because the funding that she usually gets, she's not getting. There's a lot of people out here who has a voice that you have personally been affected. And your
Mm-hmm.
voice needs to be heard so people can hear the pain and people can see that it's affecting regular people
That's
just
right.
like them. And so I just wanted to say that. So if you're a youth and it affects your tuition, if it affects your
Hmm.
lunch, if it affects your schooling, if it affects your health, please reach out to one of us. We would love to hear your story and we would love to talk about it if you're not
Yes.
comfortable because it can help somebody else.
Right.
Um, what do you think people, why do y'all think people don't get involved?
Too
I
Hopelessness
think
risky.
it's
again.
the same
And
thing.
I think people think
Yeah.
nobody cares or they think it's not gonna make a difference, because I hear a lot of that when it comes time to vote. And people always say, well, it don't matter because it's rigged. They're gonna put who they want to put in there anyway. So my vote don't matter. And as long as people are thinking that way, they're not gonna take the time to go out because they feel like it doesn't matter. And I think that it's up to us to let people know it does matter. It does matter because we have a voice, but your voice can't be heard if you don't use it. And when at voting time, that's your voice. That's your voice. That's letting people know um, whose side you're on and what you stand for. And I was just thinking when you were talking, um, Rachel, I got to thinking about you said something a few minutes ago about being pro life. And what's amazing to me is that people do not understand how can you be pro life about a
Ooh,
life that has not gotten here yet, but you're trying to take away everything that's helping the lives that are already here. So
sorry.
what life is it that you're for? You're taking away their medical, the kids who are here, you'd rather see them dead. The kids who are here, you don't want them. There was a lady who got arrested and fired for feeding children at school that didn't have money. So you'd rather that they be sick and dead and starving and homeless, but you're pro life. Pro means you're for.
Child.
So if you're for life for a child that hasn't even been born yet, you can't even tell what sex it is. But you got these kids here that you're trying to take everything away from, and then you wonder, does it matter? Yeah, it matters. Yeah, you need to get out and vote. Yeah, you need to let your voice be heard because it might not be your child or your grandchild, but it's a child, period. And when I just don't understand how we can watch the news or you can just ride down the street because some stuff you ain't even got to watch the news. It's right there. And we can see the stuff that's going on, but you feel like voting doesn't matter. Well, if you know that these things are taking place at that place where you feel like it's taking place at, and you have some say so in it, I'm just this. If you don't take the time to do something about what's going on, I see you as part of the problem. You're not trying to
Amen.
be part of the solution. So
That
if
part.
you're not voting against what's going on, you're for it. You're either for it or against it. So if you're not doing anything to show that you're against it, in my eyes, you're for it. You're just as bad as the ones that are taking that pen and signing those documents because you won't go and take 5 minutes to vote against what's going
I
on.
vote.
So yes, your voice matters. People get out and use your voice. Get out and use your voice. If we can use our voice to complain about it, use that same voice to do something about it.
So
I think
Jean,
another reason. Oh,
Rant
sorry.
over.
so Jean Reed said that people are hungry for community.
Hmm.
They're hungry to find like-minded people. And I so agree with what she's saying. She said, so she feels like my vote. She feel like her vote doesn't count. And I hate to hear it,
Mm-hmm.
Jean. Um, and I feel like, and I'm going to say something real quick. So, Miss Jean, when it comes to the big elections, it's really hard to see your vote. I get it. But if you ever vote in a small election, you literally get to see the tallies. You kind of get to see the um 57 votes. 27 votes. Neck to neck. You know, and so when it's the local elections, you can really feel part of it. You can really feel like your vote counts. And I think it gives you more I don't know why I want to use like a choo-choo train momentum once you vote and you can see it. Um, and I know Heidi can kind of go more into details because Heidi sees it all the time. She's part of a lot of those local elections. Um, she said once you build community and trust, then you can direct them to vote, and that's true.
Well,
She
it's true.
That's
And,
true.
I use an example too. I ran for office years ago. Uh, and when I ran for office, it was four of us as candidates. And to go to the runoff, I lost by 4 votes. And when
four votes,
I four,
Jean,
and
4 votes.
I yes, and if I would have had that vote, that fifth vote, then I could have made it to the runoff. And so looking at that and then going back and looking at the correction of errors, like what could we have done different and looking at things and seeing, wait a minute, this person didn't vote, this person didn't vote, this person didn't vote. And some of them just came, oh man, I would have went, oh man, I forgot. And when you look at those, and that's something that when I'm working on other elections and pushing people and helping candidates and explaining to people and using my story that, hey, 4 votes. And if I would have had 5. So your vote is very important. And that when you start looking at numbers and they get close, because there's so many close elections that's out here that's happening
It
where
is.
you have time when you have to go in and fight and say, whoo, and you see those numbers running like, okay, the numbers are coming in, the numbers are coming in. And just being in that and just watching it, you see how important that one vote is everything. When you don't vote, that goes against it. And so, yes, your vote counts. And one of those things too is a level of pride. Back in the day, voting was it. But do you vote though?
Oh,
Yeah, I went out there and vote. It was
oh.
pride with voting. And we still have to be able to keep that because it's so important right now. Well, they're working on taking it from us right now,
Yeah.
especially married women that's out here. And then
Oh,
people that's in jailed that's still innocent until proven guilty and taking their rights away. We could go on and on and on about those things. But your vote is very important. And it's something that don't take that long to just get up there and do. And even if you're disabled, you can vote from home. So there's no reason not to go in and cast your vote. And if you don't know anything about the candidate, just Google them, read on them. And if you feel what they're doing and feel like, yeah, this is, you know what, I think this is what I'm gonna go with. It don't take long. It's important.
Hold on. My apologies, Jean. That's not what she meant. She
Mhm.
does vote. She was just
Oh,
chiming in saying that she understands that's an obstacle. So I wanted to
got it.
correct that. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So, but y'all did wonderfully explaining it. And I think Heidi wants to go next, and then Gail, I'm gonna comment on what you said next.
What was the question? I think she said she understands how people feel, that their vote doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just got done with a campaign in a city in Galveston County where there was a runoff. And I'm going to tell you that in May municipal elections, and I get it, like Texas has an election all the time. You know, it's too much of a pain. There's the primaries, and there's general, and then there's the May elections, and then there's you know, and on and on and on. I get it because I have to work them. So I'm very tired. So all you have to do is vote in them. So that's one message I'm going to give you is please don't think your vote doesn't matter. The runoff we just finished, Jean, if you voted for Tanya, and I'm going to say Tanya, and Tanya won the race, or Tanya was winning the race, but you didn't get to the polls yet, Jean, I'm going to contact you again. I will know you by name. So these people in local elections who do not think their vote matters, if I go to your house and you say you're going to vote, and I don't see your name in the early voting rosters, I will be calling you again. If you didn't go to the second week of early voting, then I'm going to call you before election day. If you're sick of my calls, then vote. If you're sick of my calls, then vote. And another thing with partisan elections, if you see flooding, if you see dark neighborhood, if you see rundown houses, dilapidated buildings, that is your local government. These are things that affect you directly every single day. So to me, local elections are the most important. And when we get the leaders at the local level, they support the leaders at the upper level. So we need to make a change in Texas. We need to get more local seats, and we need to actually assist, because the people that win, they can't do it alone, right?
Right.
So we need to assist them and get more Democrats elected for the sake of the people that are in now. So I just encourage you to vote in your local election and in your federal elections.
Okay, thank you. Everybody was great. So Gail says she would love to be involved to help us out, and so that goes literally right into the next question. And then she also said, which is off for us, was she wished she would have won, Tracie. And so the next question is actually, Gail, is how can people get involved from their homes? How can, because people like, you know what? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have 2 jobs, I'm in school, I'm disabled, like I don't have the time. Like, how can someone get involved from home?
Get with your pastor, Gail.
Yeah, well, everybody.
Get with your pastor, because that's what I was saying earlier. I was telling some people about the walking, and everybody is not able to get out and walk and go door to door. But we sit on our phones and talk about everything from what's on sale at the store where you're not going to shop at. If you can sit on your phone and talk, you can sit on your phone and encourage people to vote, because we can do a lot of stuff from your computer. You have people, you have friends list. You can go in and send stuff to those people on your friends list. You can get a list. You can make phone calls. There's a whole lot of things that we can do, because I know your needs are just like mine. Walking ain't gonna get it. But let me tell you something. I did go to the Capitol. Tracie called me out. Went to the Capitol with my cane, and next time I'll probably have my walker or my rollator. That's why they give me pain pills. I'm gonna do what I got to do, because if I don't do it, I can't. Listen, I can't encourage you to go out there with your bad knees and do something if I'm not gonna do it. But you can sit on your phone and your knees hurting, don't nobody even know you in pain, and you can just sit there and be hurting and talking, and they don't even know it. But yeah, get with your pastor, and we can get it done. We can get you busy.
Well, for everybody.
If you don't have a pastor, get with your local Democratic Party or Democratic clubs in your area. You can Google them.
She has a pastor. I'm her pastor.
But
that might not have one.
Yeah. This is just a question
right.
for everybody.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of ways. There's a unique group that I put on Facebook that's sent the invite out. It's Advocate for Home. I'm real passionate about that because there are different things that you can do. Okay. So we are Texas Democratic Women from Gallatin County. In our group, there's so many amazing people and backgrounds that's in this group. And so you do have to answer the questions to be able to get involved in it. And then when you get involved in it, it will open the doors so you see what's going on in different backgrounds. And, you know, we're we're greater together. We're better together. We have
We
everybody
are.
from all different walks and lives and experiences in there, and we advocate together. We'll show you how to use the different apps where you can contact your reps, and I'm not going to talk about that too much. I'm going to leave that to Heidi. You can reach out to your
Yeah,
reps.
I was gonna say
You can
Heidi
write
has a lot of
letters,
energy.
okay? And so you can write letters, make phone calls, and my favorite,
Mhm.
I like to prepare. I like to get in my car and drive down there to the Capitol and talk and speak
Time to take
because
another trip.
it is important. If something is so important to you and you're passionate about it, you stay on top of it.
That's
I
right.
believe this year my motto is to apply pressure. When something is
Yes.
going on, you don't let off. We set calls, reminders. Oh, we need to talk to so and so. We leave messages and then call back the next morning to make sure we get them on the phone. And then if not, to tell them I will be up there at this time, and to hold them accountable for it.
Hold them
And also
accountable.
there's links, there's emails, and my favorite, protesting. Protesting is important. And I'm not going to touch on that too much because I know we got a few other things that we have to cover. But there's so many things that you can do for your voice to be heard. You don't have to
Mhm.
sit there, link up with us. Hey, I want to be a part of it. We have monthly meetings.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll be doing more lives and we'll be talking about certain information. And then also we have different groups and we all wear different hats. So we're in different groups that do different things. So
Mhm.
it's good to link up, um, join forces with people that's important, that's like-minded, and also get with people that know more than you that can help you grow.
That's
And
yes.
so we have the resources out there. We're all available and we're happy to help anybody and bring you up to where we are so you can know exactly what's going on so we can fight this together because we can do it.
We can do it.
You welcome, Gail. We appreciate you. Jean said red wine and blue troublemakers. She
Yeah.
said, look at Tracy.
That's
She
that's
said
hey Jean, that's
Facebook,
good trouble.
X,
I love her. That's good trouble. Yes. I love her.
Reddit, TikTok, Blue Skies, Threads. She says she's on a platform. She shares it all the time. Baby
Yes,
Jean is
yes.
on it. Okay, she's not playing in these
Always.
comments. I
Period.
love it. I love it. We definitely appreciate y'all commenting on the podcast while it's live. So the next question, glad you didn't go too much in it. The next question is, does protesting work? And I'm gonna get out on the Tracy.
Yes. I believe it. They try to paint the pictures like protesters are terrorists and oh, you don't want to protest them in there.
Mhm.
Protesting is your voice. And
Mhm.
it's applying pressure, you know, getting out there in front of things. I'm amazed of how creative protesting is. And people think it got to be a group of people. I seen a man and was sitting there. This man here, he plucks my nerves. Every time we go to the Capitol, y'all know who I'm talking about.
I
I,
do.
I promise you, you can go to the Capitol, I think 5 days out the week and see this guy sit there with all his red, white, blue with all of these signs all over. He don't say nothing. He just sit there with all this. Y'all know who I'm talking about. At the Capitol. You go up there, he usually on the first floor in the wheelchair with all his signs, and he's protesting every day. But guess what? Every time I go to the Capitol, he's there. And does those signs and stuff, oh yeah, he's putting his voice out there. And it don't take a group of people to take one person, but it's important. Showing up, applying that pressure. Who wants to go to their office and know it's going to be 100 people sitting out there? Who wants to go to their
Right.
office with 3 people sitting out there? I've seen one guy, he had a bad car deal somewhere here in Lamarck, and that guy stood outside these people business with a sign that said, don't buy a car here. And people was passing by all day. It ended up making Facebook and everything. But he had that sign up, and just imagine the people going into the dealership with this guy with his sign. So protesting is the energy is there. It's important. You take turns, you get out there and let them know it's a problem.
Mhm.
Protesting is everything. You got to do it. You know, it's not dangerous. It's your rights. It's your voice. It's important.
So
You just got to know how to do it. But show
how?
up. How to do it. But
Right.
show up.
So Jean said there's actually 5 call apps that's out there that you can use too. Um,
Yeah. How do you gonna
so
touch on it?
We're going to cover that.
okay. So what else can we do to fight Project 25? And we're gonna start with Heidi at the top.
Oh, goodness.
What else can we do to fight
To
what? Project
fight climate
2025?
change. Mhm.
Well, I mean, which aspect of it? Like what's going on now with people
It's
being deported or any of it?
this whatever topic you want.
Okay. Well, first of all, like our reps need to know that we don't agree with Project 2025. It's really important for our representatives to hear from us, even if they don't agree. I have, as my representatives, all Republicans. I have Randy Weber as my congressman. I have Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, like the rest of Texans. And then I have, as my state representatives, I have Greg Bonin and Mays Middleton. So I have a bunch of people that really wouldn't agree with my point of view, right? You would think that, right? So why would I call them to say I don't want whatever, the TikTok ban. Let's just say the TikTok ban. And if you call enough time, if enough people call, they mark those phone calls down. And if it's legislation like for example, we killed the abortion pill ban this time by
Yeah.
calling our legislators. So it's really important that we call them, and you could use apps called there's an app called Five Calls that I
Mhm.
think it was Jean Ann brought up earlier.
Uh-huh.
So that gives you everything you need to call your representatives on local issues and federal issues. So what your representatives do if they don't hear from you, silence means you agree with them. You don't want to give them that.
Mhm.
So if enough of us call, it puts them in a position where it tells them that we're looking, we're listening, and we're watching them. So when we call our representatives, they have to take account. And if they're inundated with negative calls about, let's say, Elon Musk or something, then they will go and vote against Doge. Hopefully, that is our goal. But will they? It depends on us calling. Now, as far as calling people that agree with us, that's also important because they need to know that they have backup. We got their back. They could also use that as justification for a vote on a bill. They could say, my constituents called me. I got over 500 phone calls on this issue. I can't vote for this bill. So, I mean, it really is important that you do call your representatives. And there's a Five Calls app. I'm not going to put that up, but it's a little circle of stars. Go to your app store, download that, and put in your information, your address, and it will tell you who to call and what issues to call on. And it's just really, really handy. And you can make your phone calls every morning. Do you know that we prevented the voucher bill from passing two legislative years? We stopped it from our phone calls and our lobbying. We stopped it. This year it made it, but last year we killed it in Greg Bonin, or not Greg Bonin, Greg Abbott called special sessions, and we killed it in the special sessions. So it does really matter.
Okay. Anybody else want to go?
Yes, we fight Project 2025 by flipping them seats next year.
Oh,
We have
go.
436 seats coming up, and plus another 33, I believe, that's coming up. And one of the things that I'm real passionate about right now, I'm looking for candidates everywhere. I'm everywhere, and I'm sharing them. All the candidates just running. I'm happy to see that we got reps saying, "Hey, I'm going to run for Congress now. I'm getting ready to run for Senate now. I'm running for governor now," and sharing it and sharing it and sharing it. And then also talking to people. Right now, we got a team researching open seats right now and getting candidates to go in because we're going to do whatever it takes, you know. And I'm not going to say I was ready to vote for Mickey Mouse right now, but we need to get some people. They need candidates. They need
Donald
competition.
Duck.
They need somebody. Yeah, Donald Duck. And they got a Mickey Mouse clubhouse going on right now. We need to get America back, and we need to remember that we are American people too. And so we have to have people that care about us in those seats. So it's time. People, they've already shown us who they are. We need to flip them
Mhm.
seats next year. And so letting people know to get involved. How about the people? right now is going on. It's big, asking everybody. VDRs right now. We need people in positions on all levels. People with disabilities. I've partnered with someone with that right now, and she's on fire right now out here with the world. It's taken all of us everywhere. And so flipping those seats, we need to get focused, get voters right now, making sure that they're registered to vote, making sure that there are no restrictions on them, and let them know that they can vote. And
Mhm.
get everybody involved, motivated, and pumped up is what we need to do so we can get those seats and the right people in those seats.
Absolutely.
Pastor.
So, I agree with everything Heidi and Tracy. They pretty much covered it. There's nothing else that we can add to that.
I know we used it. I said I was gonna be an hour, but we do have one more thing. We're gonna one more question I have for Heidi before we wrap up. And so the question that they just answered was, what else can we do to fight Project 25? And I'm gonna sum up what I heard. I heard number one was we need to unify. Number
Mhm.
two, we need to get people registered. Number three, we need to get people to vote. And number four, everybody needs to get involved.
Mhm.
That pretty much summed everything up to me, what I kind of heard us all pretty much say in the
Mhm.
comments. All of us pretty much said.
The same.
So I hope everybody kind of came up with the same thing. You want to get involved? Let's get together, get people registered, let's vote. Stay, not only get involved, stay involved. And so,
Mhm.
Heidi, you have the last question, and it is, how can they contact the reps, their state representatives?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go. I've already kind of covered this. But at the end of the slide, I already kind of said this, but at the end of this, this is an example of us calling our reps too that worked. In 2024, the inmates weren't able to get affordable phone calls, so they ended up passing price caps, 5 cents a minute on inmate calls statewide. So that was a really good um, piece of legislation for inmate rights. And then the other ones that we killed this year by calling our representatives with the TikTok ban, the abortion pill bans. There was voter ID tightening where they were trying to get your birth certificate had to match your voter ID, the name, that, and then the higher education curriculum oversight. I believe, but don't quote me on that. I believe that's the education bill where our SBOE, our State Board of Education reps, get to line item correct our curriculum. I believe that is the one. And if you know who our state Board of Education is, her name, what is her name? Does anybody remember? But she's very white nationalist, far right wing nationalist Christian, anti everything that people like us believe in. So she used to be a hairdresser. That's her background. So do we really want her line item editing our students' textbooks in
Right.
our
No.
education district? No, we don't. So this is how important it is calling your reps. We thwarted that. And like Jean Reed said in the comments, five calls is really good. It's a really good app. And let me show you what the really quick, let me show you what the logo looks like. So when you go to your app store, you can you let me see,
She
where's
said
my
her name was Julia Pickner.
oh yes, Julie Pickering.
Julie Pick.
And let me tell you really quickly about
Thank
Julie
you, Jennifer.
Pickering. Julie Pickering went to the Capitol on January 6th and took all sorts of pictures. She's been to Mar-a-Lago several times, and she's a hairdresser, and she's our state board of representatives member. So it's really important that we call our reps and we vote so we get the representatives we do want. Um, this hairdresser beat a PhD, a Democrat PhD, who just went through an internship in Rice University on writing curriculum.
Hmm.
And this far right wing MAGA girl beat him. That tells you something about partisanship loyalty, doesn't it?
Yep.
A lot about it.
We got to reach these people in other ways. The Republicans are reaching them viscerally with their feelings. They're throwing these logos out there, stop the steal, or build the wall, or whatever their little sing-song slogans are, is working. I don't think that would really work on our voters to get them to the polls.
I don't think
I don't think Democrats really, or people that vote Democrat, really respond to that kind of message, but we do need to message.
Yeah.
We do need to message.
You're right, Jennifer. It is definitely awful. So, was that it? Did we sum everything up? Did we get everything out that needed? Anybody have any questions? Oh, you still going? Go ahead.
Okay, just really quick. So you can find your representative by going to whoaremyrepresentatives.org. And that will and then you just put in your name and your address, and it will tell you your state and federal representatives and their phone number. 5 calls. Well, if you put your address into 5 calls when you download it on your phone, you will get daily call alerts and contact information for your reps, including a script if you need a script, to call them every day. It's so simple.
Wow. I love it. I don't see any questions. Thank you, ladies, for y'all comments. Thank you, ladies, for showing up today. Thank you, Heidi, Tracie, and Pastor Angela, for showing up. It is so important. This is how we actually start the unity. This is where it begins.
Absolutely.
Get on the same page, sharing, finding out what's missing, what people need to hear. I think Heidi said something that was so valuable. What is Democrats looking for? What are the white men lacking that they're willing to follow a Trump? What are guys? What are other people looking at that they're willing to just be blinded by all the other things? And I'm not talking about the straight racist people, because they're just the ones that go, that's just straight racist. That's really why they're going that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're never going to change them. They are who they are. I'm talking about the ones who really are blindsided, who really are like, oh, let's go taco.
Well, first of all, it's like cutting through the noise to get to them, right?
Right.
We have to somehow cut through that noise to get to them, and because they're believing so many things. I heard people say that we're giving benefits and to undocumented immigrants. They don't get benefits, and I hear this all the time from young people. Oh, they need to come in the right way. They're taking our benefits. They're getting money from the government. They are not. They're putting into the government. And it's a crime that they're here. They need to be locked up. Well, it's only a civil crime. So if you jaywalked and you committed a civil crime, should I lock you up? They don't realize what kind of a crime that is.
Yeah.
So, again, getting through the noise is really hard, but I think young men that are on our side can probably, reach out to other, maybe start like a Young Dems group, like you said, or maybe a group that's nonpartisan or a progressive group.
Yeah, that's great.
And it starts at home. Most of the time, people they lean towards whoever they're voting for at home until they start surrounding themselves around somebody else and find out, most of the people over here, so I think I'll just fit in this way. And they need to grow up. We need to brand them that way and reach for them. And so, like I said, social media is everything. We need to get in front of everything, be in organizations and be in places to know that we care about you and have those conversations to know what we stand for. So it's important for us to be able to be transparent to those young white men as well. Especially in school, they don't know who they voting for. They go their driver's license. You want to be registered to vote? Yeah. Who do you vote for? We need to get out there. I was impressed seeing us out there at the College of the Mainland. and talking to people and seeing the amount of people that's in line over there. We have to continue to do those things and strengthen our democracy that way. So we just need to get in their lane, get in their playing field, be in their world, and get involved.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys. Sorry that we held y'all 15 minutes over, but I really hope that y'all got a lot from it tonight. If y'all want to see the ladies back and y'all have questions, drop them in the comments. And if it's a need, then we will definitely bring whoever you want back on. If there's some questions, that's right, Tracie. Somebody said that's right, Tracie. If there's some questions that you feel like you still wanted to be answered, drop them in the comments. The ladies can go back later and they can comment on them. Okay. Y'all have an amazing night. And we thank y'all so much for tuning in.